This is a short unscripted video for composer Daniel Elder. And it is first part is reasons why I hope he will continue composing. Second part is I'm disappointed with things that he said, and I'm going to talk about that. And reading the way he has explained things, I would not be surprised if he actually did watch both parts of this video. So I will make both parts of this video. First thing, please do continue composing. Reasons include for your own sake. It's my philosophy that all bodies are innocent. So even if you were a completely evil person, which I don't think you are, it would not be better for you or for the people around you, probably, to try to stop composing. And I'm speaking from experience on this. If you think that composing and not getting paid for it is a problem, you may discover that not composing and not getting paid for that is not any better, and it can be much worse. Much worse. The things that if you're like me, and if you're like many people like me, and most composers are something like me, you'll find that the things that you do with your brain while you are composing are going to continue in one form or another, whether you are composing or not. You either need to find some way to channel them, or you need to continue composing. And composing is probably the better option. It has become difficult for me in various ways, so I'm kind of focused on text now, and a few little musical things. But don't worry about me, okay? Don't worry about me. Where you are, you're probably feeling very discouraged, and I want to point out to you that there's good news and bad news. The good news is that probably you are not being actively obstructed from the mere act of composition, as many people have been, as I have been. An example is when I was in school, when I was a theory, I was in graduate school for music theory. I was composing, and I would print scores, and I would put them up on various communication boards for various instrumentalists if they were interested in those scores. And what I saw was students who were there getting composition degrees would actually go around to those boards and actually take those scores and deliberately destroy them right in front of me. Okay, if that has not happened to you, it may be on the horizon. Who knows? If no one has ever smashed a computer that you were composing on, has smashed a computer, yes, then you're not yet experiencing the kind of hard tactical obstacles to composing that many people have. What I see, and there may be more to it, but what I see so far is not that people are discouraging you in any important way, that is, in terms of having an effect, but you're just not being encouraged anymore. Or not being encouraged at the moment. Who actually canceled you seems to be a company or a social group that might be less interested in what kind of controversy you produced than in the fact that you produced any controversy at all. That is, if you'd said the opposite, it might be better, worse, or about the same. We really can't be sure. But they have that your market, or the people who are the conduit to your market, they probably have enough flavors of controversy in the smorgasbord as it is. And if you accidentally or deliberately added one more flavor, that was probably not what they needed. So the fact that you got specific people upset about a specific thing might be less important in real terms, in hard practical terms, right now at least, than just the fact that you got anybody upset about anything. And that's really sad. But onward. Onward. Don't assume that that it has to make any difference. Okay, there are people who are way bigger jerks than you, certainly, and they are still getting away with everything. So even if I thought you were, even though I thought you were a terrible composer, I probably wouldn't try to stop you from composing. I don't think you're a terrible composer, and I encourage you to see what Vincent Gallo said about people and their art. Okay, so I have long established that I am an opportunist, a cynic, a hypocrite, and an asshole. But there's this thing where, well, maybe I can do something that is better than me. Maybe I can make some art that's better than me. Maybe if I somehow change later, it won't be so bad. Or even if I think I'm in the right position now, maybe whatever the controversy is, whatever I do can at some point for someone transcend that controversy. So I'm kind of there listening to your music and thinking, this is pretty good music. It would be a shame to just shut it down or ignore it, or something, just because they're in the middle of a journey and we don't like the direction that they happen to have gone at this moment. So what is okay? So what is the perspective on the disagreement? I appreciate that, that there really aren't any special venues for people who are cisgendered, male, heterosexual, and white, and that means that there's no special venue for me. People assume that people of our demographic have other resources that we can, magically produce by waving our little pink wands or something. I don't know. Some of us do, some of us don't. But if you're a composer, you either have to bring your own capital or you have to capitalize something else. And many people who look like you and me do bring their own capital and often pretend that that's not what they're doing. So that's their right. We can like it or dislike it, but it's kind of their right to do it up to a point. But people who don't have those resources, they have to capitalize something. If they have a gender or an orientation or an ethnicity or any of those things that they can somehow squeeze value out of, I can't blame them for doing it. And I want to be careful here about how I explain this. But from my position, it seems like you have capitalized either your own religion or other people's religion. And if my belief system were closer to yours, I might have done the same thing. So I can't judge, although I am a hypocrite. I don't know, but it looks. I'm not saying that it has to look this way to people, or that it should look this way to people, or what. But a thing that you should be aware of is that it looks to someone in my position, okay, from my limited perspective, like you have capitalized religion, and then in your commentaries turned around and kind of dissed people, or I would say dissed people for capitalizing what it is that they have to capitalize. And I don't think that they probably have better options than you. They just have different options. As for the music business as a whole, it's like any other business, and in this way, it might be worse than a lot of other kinds of business. I can't prove anything. I don't have any data, but basically, this is how it works. And again, you can disagree, but this is how it works. Where there's corruption, for anything to compete with that other corruption in the long term, that other thing probably also has to be corruption by somebody's measure. What's corruption to you? What's corruption to someone? I don't know. But if something is corruption to someone, in order to compete with that thing, that other thing over the long term has to be in some way corrupt by someone's standard of corruption. So there is big corruption is one way to compete, and there is efficient corruption, which is another way to compete. So I think those are kind of your choices. Otherwise, you could easily wind up like me, thinking of yourself as kind of a recovering composer, And I don't want that to happen to anyone who has talent and is willing to work. Okay, but talent is the cheapest thing right now. It's the cheapest thing in the world, and hard work is extremely common. So if you see people kind of gaming the system, don't don't be shocked by that. And my God, if you're gonna criticize them, try criticizing them from a more cynical perspective like mine. Okay, because if you're not gaming the system, then the system is absolutely gaming you.